Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is Daki. So today we're going to look at the Wielders of Light, the Crusaders of Justice themselves, the Retribution Paladin. And wow, what a spec it is. It really is. So whenever I play the Retribution Paladin, I have nothing but fun. I think it's just an enjoyable spec to play. It is a very solid spec, and what I mean by that is that the rotation, the abilities, everything seems really centered and focused around the Retribution Paladin, the class fantasy, and the way it plays. So how is it going to progress into Battle for Azeroth? Is it going to keep that, or is it going to drop it? Is it going to change in any way? Well, let's jump across now and have a look at the class changes, the talent changes, and just overall what is happening to the Retribution Paladin in Battle for Azeroth. Okay everyone, so this is the Retribution changes, the overall changes, but before we get straight into it, let me just throw up on the screen the legendary changes. So these are the legendaries that are taking, all legendaries or weapon abilities that are getting taken out of Legion and placed into Battle for Azeroth. So that's up on screen now. So let's jump straight in. There are a few changes, and I want to run through these bit by bit for you. If I lose you by talking too fast, I do apologize. But there is no better way to do it than this. So, straight off the bat, your Judgment rank 3 and rank 2 are getting removed. Now, that is more so for leveling purposes and the way you receive it during your leveling. And it's just getting changed a little bit there. So, not too much changed if you are max level. Your Mastery Divine Judgment is getting removed. Now, it is getting replaced with Mastery Hand of the Light, which now just increases all holy damage done by a certain percent. It's just a very simplified version of what you had. Now, you are also getting Art of War. Your auto attacks have a chance to reset the cooldown of Blade of Justice, and it is now changed to 4 procs per minute. Avenging Wrath, call upon the light to become an avatar of Retribution, increasing your damage, healing, and critical strike chance by 20%. The cooldown is changed from 2-minute recharge to a 2-minute cooldown, and you get no more charges. I'm guessing that's just a redesign of the actual ability. So Blessing of Protection blesses a party or raid member, granting immunity to physical damage and harmful effects by 10%. Cannot be used on targets with forbearance and causes forbearance. So Blade of Justice pierces an enemy with a Blade of Light, dealing a certain amount of attack power and granting 2 holy power. Pretty cool. Cleansing Toxins is just being a redone on the mana or how much it costs. Divine Storm unleashes a whirl of divine energy, dealing a certain amount of attack power to all nearby enemies. It's not really getting changed that much. Flash of Light is getting a reword and a slight mana cost change, so it just expends a large amount of energy mana to quickly heal a friendly target for a certain percent of spell power, and it costs a little bit more now. So Greater Blessing of Kings places a powerful blessing on a single ally for 1 hour, granting a shield that absorbs up to a certain amount of damage every 6 seconds. So it acts a bit like a very mini Pride As almost. So Greater Blessing of Wisdom places a powerful blessing on a single ally for an hour, restoring 1% of their maximum mana, health and mana every 10 seconds. Once again, like a mini Pride As, but in this way, restoring health and mana. So Hand of Hindrance burdens an enemy target with the weight of their misdeeds, reducing their movement speed by 70% for 10 seconds. Cost change from 13% base mana to 10% base mana. So just another reword there, guys. So your Judgment now causes the target to take 25% increased damage from your next holy power spender. Your Judgment also, your level 42, so this is your ranking one, causes them to take 25%. So it's just a reword, guys. There's nothing actually being changed significantly there. So Retribution, when when any party or raid member within 40 yards dies, you gain 20% increased damage and 30% reduced damage taken for 10 seconds. Shield of Vengeance creates a barrier of holy light that absorbs a certain amount of health damage for 15 seconds. When the shield expires, it bursts into holy damage and equal to the total amount absorbed divided by the enemies among that are around you. So this is like the Archimon's legendary that you got as like a tanking legendary. Oh, it was a trinket, sorry. A trinket, you absorb all this damage and then you expel it in a burst of energy. And Templar's Verdict now unleashes a powerful weapon strike that deals a certain amount of attack power to an enemy target. So just a quick reword change there. So we'll have a look at the talent placements in a second, but we're just going to scroll down here, guys, and go to the removed and added talents. Now, I'm going to read this out as it lies on wowhead.com, but just be aware that there are abilities, or sorry, talents that are getting removed and then just re-added back in with a new spell ID. So, Divine Hammer is getting removed. And if I hover over here, Divine Intervention is getting removed. Execution Sentence is getting removed. Final Verdict is getting removed. Greater Judgment removed. Holy Wrath, Judgment Alliance, Virtue's Blade, and Zeal are all getting removed. But like I say, guys, they're not all getting completely removed, as if we look down here, we see that to be added back to the spec, you've got Divine Judgment, Execution Sentence, Hammer of Wrath, Inquisition, Righteous Verdict, Selfless Hero, Unbreakable Spirit, Wake of Ashes, and Zeal are all getting added back to the spec. So like I said, even though some of these, like some of them are getting removed, they're just getting re-added back in some form or way. So nothing too bad to worry about there. So let's jump across and have a look at where your talent placements are, so where they lie and sit on the talent tree. And we see here that level 15 you have Zeal, Righteous Verdict, and Execution Sentence, where Zeal, your Judgment empowers you with Zeal, causing your next 3 auto attacks to occur 30% faster and deal an additional holy damage. Your Righteous Verdict, Templar's Verdict, increases the damage of your next Templar's Verdict by 15% for 6 seconds. And Execution Sentence is Execution Sentence, exactly the same, costs 3 holy power, 30-second cooldown. Pretty cool looking ability as well. So level 30 you have Fires of Justice, Blade of Wrath, and Hammer of Wrath. So your Fires of Justice reduce the cooldown of Crusader Strike by 15% and grants it 15% chance to make your next ability consume 1 less holy power. Blade of Wrath, Art of War resets the cooldown of Blade of Justice by 100% and more often, and increases its damage by 25%. Okay. Hammer of Wrath is Hammer of Wrath. I believe this is not getting changed one bit. Now, your level 45 talents, which are basically just your control abilities, you have your Fists of Justice, Repentance, and Blinding Light. Nothing getting changed along that row there, guys. So let's move on to level 60. We have Divine Judgment, Consecration, and Wake of Ashes. So your Divine Judgment, each enemy hit by an ability that consumes holy power increases the damage of your next judgment by 20%, stacking up to 15 times. Holy crap, that is why Retribution Judgments hit so hard, I'm guessing. So consecration is just consecration. We're not going to enter into that. That's pretty simple. And Wake of Ashes lashes out at your enemies, dealing a certain amount of attack power. Radiant damage to all enemies within 12 yards. Reducing their movement speed by 50% for 5 seconds, which is pretty cool. And obviously your demon and undeads are stunned. So Cavalier, on level 75, we've got Cavalier, Unbreakable Spirit, and Eye for an Eye. So Cavalier is pretty much the same as what it's been. Unbreakable Spirit, we cover that in the Protection Paladin, and Eye for an Eye surrounds you with a bladed bulwark, reducing physical damage taken by 35% and reducing physical damage done to any melee attackers for 10 seconds. So pretty cool ability there. It is a 1-minute cooldown too, so interesting. Level 90 talents, we have Selfless Hero, Justicar's Vengeance, and Word of Glory. Now Selfless Hero, Healer, your Holy Power Spender's abilities reduces the cast time of your next Flash of Light by 25% and increases its healing done by 10%, stacks up to 4 times. I think that's always been the same though, guys, hasn't it? It has always been that way. So Justicar's Vengeance now costs 5 holy power, focuses holy energy to deliver a powerful weapon strike that deals a certain amount of attack power as holy damage and restores equal of that damage done to you. Damage is increased by 50% when used against a stunned target. So Word of Glory also is Word of Glory, heals a friendly target and the 2 most injured targets within 30 yards. Got 2 charges. I think that's always been the same too. Now level 100 talents, you have Divine Purpose, Crusade, and Inquisition. So Divine Purpose, your abilities that consume holy power have a 15% chance to make your next ability that consumes holy power free and deal 20% increased damage and healing. Your Crusader replaces Avenging Wrath, has 1 charge with a 2-minute recharge time, cools upon the light and begin a crusade, increasing your damage done and haste by 3% for 25 seconds. Each holy power spent during crusade increases damage done and haste by an additional 3%, maximum 10 stacks. That's a pretty cool talent. I'd really like to see how that works in when I play the Ret Paladin here, guys. So Inquisition is your last talent here, guys, and it consumes up to 3 holy power and increases your damage done by and haste by 8%. It lasts 15 seconds per holy power consumed, and you can obviously use up to 3 holy power there. So wow, that is where your that is exactly where your talents lie amongst the talent tree. I think that's a pretty cool talent tree, and once again I've just run through that pretty damn quickly, so I do apologize if I have skipped something accidentally, read something wrong, or I've just covered it way too fast. I do apologize, but guys, that is it. That is your Retribution Paladin. Alright everyone, that is the Retribution Paladin, the very first look at it in Battle for Azeroth. So what do I think overall? I think that the Paladin is an awesome spec in a class to play, regardless of what spec you are actually playing. But the Retribution Paladin seems quite solid, and I am really going to look forward to playing this in Battle for Azeroth. I haven't played a Paladin since, what, Mists of Pandaria, maybe early Warlords of Draenor, so I have no experience of a Paladin in Legion one bit. So I'm going to skip all of that completely and just jump straight in for Battle for Azeroth. So I would really like to hear from you guys. Leave a comment in the comments below, and let me know, am I a fool for jumping on board for the Paladins, especially the Retribution Paladin in Battle for Azeroth, or should I just wait or leave it out? But guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. I want to thank everyone who is watching these videos. It makes my life enjoyable to make these videos. I really do enjoy doing that. So guys, there is a Discord link in the description below. If you want to join the Discord, please do so. It is open for everyone. But thank you again for watching this, and yeah, until next time guys, have a great day.